Hello, everybody. This is Frogman, and welcome back to Manufactio. It's going to be episode 76. In the last episode, we did a little bit of messing around with the space station, and we also automated the ultimate control circuits, which are now complete and over with. And as far as I remember, we had a challenge set up to take care of those guys, and we have since fed 1,000 of those into the little bitty object submission station. So let's go over to our little bitty normal spot and turn that in. It definitely chewed through a little bit of our copper, so I'm going to have to go find a little bit of copper after this, unless I forget exactly how much we're going to get for this, but we're going to go ahead and stand in our turn-in chunk once again and detect submit on that. That's going to get us 135,000 copper ore, 200 or 2,200 redstone ore, 75,000 iron ore, 18,000 coal ore, some diamonds, and some gold as well. Wonderful, awesome, cool. Let's see where we're at with these. Do I have a couple of these that I can plug in? I'm thinking we only got to do is do this again, and they should go back to work. Yes, awesome. That used up quite a bit of copper. I mean, I'm this bin over here had quite a bit of copper in it, so we're now going to be gaining a little bit more copper once again. So, there's only one more of those left, and that's the steel casings. And steel casings, well, steel casings be steel casings. There's no machine we can set up directly to make them work. There's not like a an assembler that I have to mess with. I mean, they're a 3x3 craft basically is a steel casing. So steel casings, if we have not looked at yet, is going to be keep typing because you need to. Steel casings are a 3x3 craft. They're plastic sheets, osmo titanium, that thing, and one of those. So the fun part about this is in order to make 1,000 of these, we need another 1,000 of those and 4,000 of those things. Or we could just EMC the stuff and finish most of it. But I mean, the only thing that doesn't have the EMC again is the ultimate control circuit. And we have two different places we can craft this stuff now. The system here knows how to craft them basically by using the stuff that's over in our circuit factory, or we can just hook in a quick down and dirty drive to, or a down and dirty thing to be able to read that. So I would like one of my storage buses, please. And a cable. And okay, well, a few cables. It's probably going to take more than that. We're going to go over here. We're going to smack a storage bus on the side of this machine that we automated last episode. There. And you should have a little bit of stuff in you because I shut your resonant retriever off. I'm going to turn that back on. And you should go back to work. Good. So I should be able to get caught up here. Make a quick check of your channels first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I think is what we have over here. I really should be using the other cables just so I can see what I have. Yeah, I really should. 7. Ooh. Ooh. Why did I do that? Hey. Why did you do that? That's a bad idea. Where's my wrench? Come here, wrench. We're going to put this down here. So we have a interface and a storage bus. So storage bus, face, cable, that works. Okay. I've been having lots and lots of trouble with some serious framiness, and it's mainly because all the chunk updates were happening and various other things that are going on with the game. Being very, very busy right now because we've literally just about automated this thing to the point it's about to die. So we might get this going, and then we're going to take a look at possibly helping some of that. That's where the double clicks are coming from and a lot of this other stuff. It's just the game at this point has just become so busy that we have a hard time dealing with a lot of the stuff going on. Why is there redstone in there? And do not put anything in it. No. Thank you. I love it. Anyhow, we're going to leave that sit over here. We're only going to keep 4 stacks of those guys on hand all the time because that is more than enough. And I've actually managed to chew through quite a bit of redstone ore as well. I think what I want to play with today is I want to start looking at getting rid of some of the other problems that we have as far as things going on. I am going to, for that matter, where are we? Can we go ahead? We're gonna do this very quickly. Come here, you. I'm gonna put you right there. I want to start getting rid of these things as much as we can. I know we're kind of just goofing around, and I should be up there working on my space station, but I kind of figured if I didn't at least get some kind of an episode worked out and figured out, that you guys wouldn't get anything today. And I have spent too much time as it is playing with that stupid space station, and I still haven't got it completed, but I am going to hope to at least have the exterior and the basic structure finished by next episode so we can play on the inside of it. So what I want is a steel casing. So we need to teach the system how to make a steel casing, which it should know how to make a steel casing. So can you craft one for me, please? 1. Next. Start. Thank you. And if I do the normal of put you in that, give me that back here, you should craft one. Okay, cool. And that will keep that going on in here. And we're going to do the same thing we did the last time. So I'm going to grab a steel casing, and we're going to use this. And I don't know why that's in there. I think we had to make a whole bunch of stuff. Let's see. And I want a reinforced filter on the end of here. I don't know why you just jumped out of my hand, but okay. I want one of those in here, even though we've already whitelisted it. That's perfectly fine. And the object submission station again with the hopper down. You should do that, and you can't put anything in here. So let's find the last thing that we can do here, wherever it's going to be. It's going to be in here somewhere. Come on. Where are you? I might have to dig through here for a minute. Electrode. Wow, where is that thing? Oh, there it was. There it was. I was fixing to have to just go ahead and make a cut, but nope, there we go. All right. So we're going to start pumping 1,000 steel casing through the system. 1,000 steel casing. That's 4,000 Osma titanium, alamide steel. These guys right here, which is going to need a bunch of osmium. Which I'm glad I made a whole bunch of osmium and a whole bunch of other things. That is a whole lot of stuff that's going to have to process. It's going to be like processing a whole bunch of anomaly science and a bunch of other things. Plus, that is a lot of copper and a lot of other stuff. So we're going to let that run for a minute. What I kind of want to play with, like I said, is I'm kind of interested in getting rid of some of the storage containers that we currently have right now. And I really don't know exactly the best method for what I want to do with this, but I do know that I've been kind of testing a couple of things. Storages, for that matter, with applied energistics, we all know how that they only hold 63 types of one item, depending on how much thing you put in it. So these storages, the storage cells are pretty simple, easy to go by. You just know that you can only store 63 different items or X amount of a certain type of item. And the numbers are pretty simple, especially for the 16 and the 64K drives, that a 16K drive will hold about 130,000 items, and a 64K will hold 520,000 items singly. So if you take a, where is my thing? If you take one of these cell workbenches, where is my stuff? Is it this one? I think it's this one. If you take a cell workbench, that guy right here, and you tell it, like we've done before with some of these other ones, so just go ahead. Can we craft a 16 right now? Is that possible? That might not take too long. Looks like everything is available. Go. Okay, cool. So grab one of those. There's a 16K storage cell. So if I decided instead of storing things like iron in the system here, I can just change, instead of storing things like iron and redstone and all that heavy duty stuff, I can partition a drive to hold a specific item. And we already know this. I mean, I've already used it already in this series. We used it for our initial ore providing stuff. But the thing is if I use this, then it's already tied to the applied energistics storage system. So if I grab a drive, I don't know if I have one. I thought we did. Do we have one in here? Not that. This. No. Can I make a drive really quickly? Drive really quickly. Yes, I can. Cool. So if I grab a drive, right, and I go into this area over here where we already have a, excuse me 1 second, where we already have an applied energistics system. And we have all of this stuff sitting here with all of these storage buses on them, which if you haven't looked around my world, I don't know how many storage buses I have, but I have an ungodly amount of storage buses in this world. Let's go downstairs and we can discuss this a little better. Let's do this. I'm going to break you, bring you with me, and I should have some cabling. So I'm going to grab a little bit of that and a little bit of that, and I'm going to have you craft me about, I don't know, let's see, craft 20 of those for now. So we're short a bunch of iron crystals. Beautiful. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Well, we can fix that problem because I believe I set that back up somewhere. Grab me a little bit of iron. That'll work. We'll run upstairs and do a little bit of iron crystal work. Since I moved all this stuff here, we should not have anything in that. So go to work, my friend. And that will make a bunch of iron crystals while we are waiting around. I'm not worried about it right now. What I can do with this, and this is the fun part, if you don't know about applied energistics, when you start using massive amounts of storage buses, you start to notice TPS drops and loss because of storage buses. So I've gone through every iteration of trying to keep my base from falling completely apart. When we started this whole process, we've been using different types of machines, we've been using belts, we've been using magnetic craft, we've been using the ducts, and now we're at the limitation of applied energistics because they've got so much stuff happening that we're definitely having a major issue. And the major issue is these storage buses. Storage buses continuously check the inventory that they are connected to for their contents, to measure it on their own, on their system, and just normally doing things regularly. They're not that bad. Normally they're not that bad. You can get a couple of them going around and you can be doing just fine. Server wide especially, storage buses can really seriously use a lot of resources, so it's something to be cognizant and aware of when you're building as large as I have been building. This would not fly on any major server that I've ever played on. I'd have been banned and thrown off the server and told not to ever do that again for some of the stuff that's been going on here. Especially with all of the fact that every single one of these machines has a storage bus. And every single one of everything in here is using either a storage bus or some kind of something to monitor the system. I don't know how I'm going to be able to get rid of these buses. These buses are here mainly just because that's, how I have to do this. The only thing I could literally do at this point is take this storage bus, turn it into an import bus, and then stick an extra layer of running capability on the various sides of things so that we would then monitor the process of what we have, or should say the content or how much we have. And when we run low on, say, grenades, we turn on a level emitter, where I don't think we have any up here. I turn on a level emitter, which turns on this auto crafter, which then makes the system run. So it theoretically would be better for my computer, but it would also increase the amount of channel usage that I have in every one of these subnets by double, probably. So or at least that. So these guys on this side, we already have them automated. It would look something similar to this. However, like I said, the thing we can do here is instead of doing a storage bus, man, I cannot talk. We would either use an import bus or a pipe to an interface, since we already have an interface here that would then turn this machine on and off using redstone signal and a level emitter as we needed the stuff. So it's something else we can look at doing, but as you can see on this side, we have all these machines over here, and I tried to make these guys as simple as possible, and that cable's full. So it'll get a little ugly. Anyhow, what I want to do is I want to see about going back downstairs here and making a quick count of some of this stuff. So we have a bunch of junk that I don't need to be storing. For one, probably don't need to be storing in bins. And, you know, we've got a lot. Now that guy right there, the 200,000 on that one, I may need to change the level emitter on this because I really don't need that much. But everything else in here, how come I have that much over here? I thought that was somewhere else. But everything else over here, I think what I kind of want to do is I want to kind of go ahead and maybe make a 16K storage drive for every single one of these ingots and maybe some of the other little parts and pieces that we have, and see if we can't save a little bit on processing power and get some of that back. So let's see, can we craft about, let's see if we can make 10 of them this time. Yes, we can. Cool. And then what I want to do is I also want to make a panel. Not panel. Did I monitor? Did I even craft this? I thought I set these things up. Where is the other fun stuff as far as applied energistics is concerned? I need a panel, and a panel can be turned into a, where is it? That guy, an ME storage monitor. So do we have a storage monitor program? We did not set that up. Do this. I'm pretty sure we've got the level emitters set up. Yeah, we're going to use a couple of more channels, but what's cool about those is I can set them to display how much I have of a specific item in the system, and it's going to tell me. So I don't need the bin to be able to see what's going on anymore. So, did you make me a bunch of those, or are you working on it? Oh, we have to make a whole bunch of Cerdios quartz. Alrighty then. Well, I'm going to wait on that to do that, and then I will be right back when that happens, guys. Okay, so that's taken a little bit of time, so let's just go ahead and play with what we have currently, which is 6 drives that are going to take a little bit, so we've got them, we've got plenty of time, but 6 drives, we can hold 10 total per drive thing, or 6 storages and loud and all kinds of things, and I turned the sound back up, and I don't know why I did it. Let's do this instead. There we go. Okay, so what I want to do while we're down here is I want to type out all of these cells. My goodness, whatever. I don't care at this point. I want to type out all these cells for some of the ingots that we keep in stock at all times, especially like iron, and that's steel, isn't it? Yep, that's steel. I'm running out of room in my inventory. Let's sneak up a little bit. Steel, copper, osmium. So let's get 6 of these. Steel, copper, osmium, iron, gold, silver, and lead. Is that too many? No. Silver, lead. Where'd lead go? Did I get lead? Lead's up there. Okay. So we're going to type these guys. Doing the good old-fashioned do that. That one's typed. That one's typed. That one is typed. Ooh. Hey, we'll do you in a second. Go to do, type that one. Type this one, and that one should have already been typed to iron, so we're going to remove it, and we're going to put lead in there, so we at least have this many to play with at this point. Now, how are we going to work this is the problem. Go away, phone, I don't need your help. Thank you. Because I can't shut the system off while this is happening. So all of these should be set to input or bidirectional. So my thought plan is going to be what we need to do is come up with a way of making this system work here. We are going to get rid of probably most of this subnet right here, because that subnet really only exists to manage the I didn't want to do that. Go back there. That subnet really only exists to manage what I would call our deep storage, and at this point our deep storage is going to get turned into these things. So where do I want to put this? How many channels do we have over here still? Not many. Maybe we cheated in over here. Maybe we put it on the white system for now. What I can do, and what I'm going to do, is I'm going to grab a couple of import buses, and I think we left our box here. We want our box. Come here, box. And do I have any white cabling? White cabling, white cabling, white cabling, white cabling, cable. No cable, cable. Can I craft some cable, please? I thought we already had some cable. Just for extra, just in case. And that's probably going to stall out because we're making a bunch of other stuff. What did I do with that cable I had on me? Hello, cable. There it is. I thought I had a bunch of cable. I just want a couple of pieces of white for right now, just because that's the one that's on the bottom downstairs. So, okay. Down. Down. Thank you. Okay. So if I hook this in up here, like maybe right there for right now. Yeah. And I put all of these drives in here. And I set all of those ingots to extract only. They're not going to pull out of there, but it should stop placing things in them. And if we look up here, we're starting to see stuff come out of them. Okay, cool, cool, cool. That's what I wanted to see. So what I want the system to keep doing is using these storages for as long as it can until we have a need for something else. The biggest problem is going to be I need to be able to get from here to here without getting into any of the fun stuff. So if I'm very careful, and I mean very careful, where can I put an anchor? Anchor? Anchor. And my box, wherever the box went. Come here, box. And where is an import bus? That's a storage bus. Do I not have any import buses on me? Go grab one real quick. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull everything out of that bin and put it into that drive. Storage. Import bus. Import bus. I thought I had a few of these. I guess we don't. And some of those. Thank you. Thank you. Down. All right, so that should be aluminum, and we did type aluminum if I remember, right? Yeah, did we type aluminum? That's iron. That's iron. Okay. So if I hook an import bus on that with this glass cable and some of those, I can still read the fact that there is this here. So the system should not lose its mind and count the number. Where's it at? Probably that one. Okay. So that's going to wind up and it's going to inhale all of those iron ingots into the system, into a storage bus. So that this system, the entire system, the entirety of the mess here, is still going to be able to read the fact that there is 50,000 iron ingots in the system, and it's turning on mainly because we're under 50,000 right now, just barely, because we're crafting all of this other stuff. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to suck all of those parts out into the system. At least all of these storage buses here we should be able to get rid of. And some of these other little things, like I don't even need this one. Hey, why don't you go away? Just realized there was nothing in that one. But we're going to be able to clean up a lot of these storage buses and take care of a lot of that problem. So I'm going to be definitely working on that in between episodes, because that's going to take a good long time to get done. The other thing I want to do is, since I'm going to be losing this interface down here, I want to have an interface to be able to see what's available. So I'm going to cut a hole in the floor over here. And as we do a few things, where is that block? I should have some dirt on me. There we go. Put that dirt back. No. Thank you. Yeah, it's getting to the point where we need to get some serious performances figured out and why everything is dying. I've got all of the science building next door shut down, so we're having to kind of deal with stuff. But what I want to do from here is, since I did this, I can now bring up some cool stuff, which is very simple and easy to do. And we can use this entire wall as a monitoring system, which I may have to bring up and do a little bit of. We're going to be playing around with this because, yeah, I know I only have 8 channels at this point. But we're going to do something kind of simple, easy to do. So I'm going to grab some cable anchors and put them down on these so that we don't connect. And I'm going to run some more cable up here, and we're going to count how many this is. So that's 6, 12, 6, 7, 8. Actually, that should be fine. So for right now, yeah. So let's go ahead and smack a bunch of these on here. Whoop, I didn't want 2 of them. For right now, there's our 8 that we can play with, and then we'll have to cut this cable up. There's 32 channels down here that we can play with. I managed to nail the corner of this, so if I have to, I can recable and rework things. But what I can do now is I can come over here, actually, for that matter, let's just do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the iron. Something I've been kind of wanting to do for a while anyway is this. So I can do iron, gold, copper, steel, silver, and lead, and anything I want to for that matter. And I now know right here, without even having to worry about it, or anywhere in the factory, if I want to have a spot where I can see all of this stuff, I can see exactly what's on it. Now, if I remember correctly, I can, is it a shift right click to lock it? I forget how to lock them. We'll have to dig out our network tool and play with it a little bit, but what I can do with that now is we can also do a little bit of facading. Do I have any facading? What is that? Those are factory block covers. What color is that? That's a thermodynamic cover. I don't want that. I want facades. So let's grab. Let's see what those look like if we do this. That'll be 4, right? Let's see what those look like, because they have a kind of a neat outer border. And now that we can do things. Okay, so they're going to go through the randomness that is that that block, so we may not be using those. But yeah, we can kind of facade this wall off and make a nice little kind of a control area so we can actually see things. And I don't have to go down here anymore or dig through my applied energistics anymore to see how much stuff that I have. So that guy's already done. We can unhook this one. We can move this one over and grab a cable cover and do the exact same thing for the gold. Cool, cool, cool. Put this in there. And now that's going to inhale that into the system and do what it needs to do. So that should have been the iron. Let's see. Iron should have gone in right here for right there for that most part. And you're looking at that number. And that number literally is more or less, we can put about 130,000 iron ingots in a 16K drive if we want to, if we choose to. The thing is when you start typing numbers, so, and this is on the wiki, and if I can get the wiki to come up and look at me, I don't have that page open anymore. Just reading through the thing. You can hold a lot of a single item on a storage drive, or you can hold about half as many items if you don't type them. So if I type a drive to a specific ingot, I can hold a considerable amount of stuff per storage drive. If I try to put all 5 of them or 6 of them on one drive, say like I'm monitoring the system to only maintain X amount of stuff, like we're making sure that stuff is only running when we have, like say for the iron, we're only running the system when we're under 50,000 iron ingots. So that means we're only grinding certain things and doing certain things when we're under a certain number. I can easily expand that number now up to 130,000 iron ingots if I want to, which is pretty cool. So where did my copper go? Copper. Come here, you. You're not supposed to go away. You're supposed to go right there. So this is what I'm going to do for right now. We're going to go ahead. I may end up making a singularly different color just to change the color on these. I'm going to build a nice wall of all the other stuff that we have laying around. For that matter, I can monitor everything in this building, and like all of these bins right here, these bins can go away. All of these bins can go away. Bins in here, these bins can go away. As many of the bins as I can get rid of in this building, I think would definitely help us. Bins plus these storage buses. And then I'm going to think long and hard about how I want to do this, because these guys really, really, really benefit the world in general from being shut off when they're not busy, so that they're not using any cycles. Right now, we're not using any cycles because most of these are shut off. So it's definitely a way to do certain things. So I may end up experimenting with a control network to run down the center of each one of these subnets to try to help with at least the redstone, because otherwise I am, like I say, we're 21 channels out of that one, 32 on that one. So these both of these sides are pretty well full up on channels, and this one I think we're getting pretty close. Plus this side over here, these are more of our auto crafting systems and problems and things. So just getting rid of a lot of these will help me out quite a bit. So I think, guys, with that, we're going to go on and see about doing a little bit more work as far as getting the stinking space station done so that I can get on with that project. I just realized that I had not done any recording today for this episode, so I needed to sit down and do it. It's going to be late as it is because of the fact that I have been busy doing a dozen other things. So I love it when school starts. Kids are all busy doing various things and getting out in the world and taking care of stuff, and I hope that's putting the gold where it was supposed to put the gold. Gold wasn't that full, so whatever. I'm going to finish doing some of this, guys. I will for sure hopefully get the space station done, or at least the external skeleton shell thing done for next episode, so we can start finishing some of the rest of the stuff in here, the last 2. And for that matter, we may end up just finishing everything that's left in the quest book pretty much, except for these 2. So these 2 I'm probably not even going to bother with at this point, but yes, we'll definitely be taking a look at that. So I guess, guys, I know kind of a random all over the kind of place things, and I kind of like to play with technology episode, but hey, it's how it works, and this is how we play the game. So thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next episode. Bye.